cool. Let's see really quickly before we get started. Sorry the lighting is always super bad during these streams, but hopefully it'll be okay this time around. Probably not, but let's see. Okay. Great. And I think you can hear me too. Let me check the audio really quick. Please don't mess up. Still loud. Because this music is always slapping, but the audio is always super loud, so I'm going to turn it down just a bit more. Let's see. Alright, let me go back. Sorry, hold on one second. Great. Okay. Audio is fine. You guys can hear me. And we are live. What is up, guys? Welcome back to another live stream. And yes, finally, we are talking about, once again, Marvel games. Because there's a lot to get hyped about. And, of course, we're not playing a Marvel game. Like, you would think, oh, Evan, always talking about Marvel games, always talking about, you know, the future of the gaming industry with PlayStation and Spider-Man and Insomniac and Marvel and Square Enix. You would think, oh, whenever he does these streams, he should play Spider-Man or Avengers or even, hell, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. No, I never do. I always either play Genshin Impact, because that's a live service game that I actually do enjoy playing. We did do Soul Calibur a few times with my bro who is here, Franco Greco, fighting game protege mastermind for that that fighting game, and I can't believe I'm a noob at it, but I've been training, dude. We'll get back to it, I promise. And now, finally, because I just got this game in the mail, because it's been ages since I played it, is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. The game. It's a 2D brawler, you know, like kind of like River City Ransom, just kind of like those old school brawlers, or like Spider-Man Maximum Carnage for you guys out there, you Marvel fans. It's just like that 2D side-scrolling brawler, but it's incredible. The movie was great, and I got mainly the physical copy of the game because they had it on limitedrun.com's website back in either late 2020 or early 2021, and I ordered it because the whole reason why Scott Pilgrim was so cool is that it was a great game, it was a great brawler, and then it got removed from the digital store on the PlayStation Store back in 2010 or 2011, back when the movie came out. And as you see on the top of the screen right there, Scott Pilgrim is back. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game, is back for its 10-year anniversary. Play as your favorite characters, Scott Pilgrim, Ramona, Knives, Steven, Kim, or even Wallace, and battle your way through waves of tough enemies to defeat the League of Evil X's. And it's the complete edition, so it has all the DLC, all the 2 extra characters, Knives and Wallace. We're going to play Scott, though. And I will play solo for now while we're just talking about this news. Maybe later we can get in a match with some people, because there are online matches and other stuff like that. But yeah, this game's great, and I got the physical version of it in the mail literally like a couple days ago. So this is my first time playing it since, God, 2011, which is a crazy experience. So this is my first time playing it in almost a decade. And I get to play it for you guys while talking about Marvel games. So leave a like if you're enjoying it. Leave a like for Scott Pilgrim. Leave a like for Marvel games. Leave a like for E3 if you are hyped for the festivities. And, of course, you've seen the title. We're talking about Spider-Man. We're talking about Avengers. We're talking about Guardians. We're talking about XCOM, which, shout out to my fellow amazing YouTube friend Podcast Now, who shared this, as well as Franco Greco, but mainly Podcast Now, I think, shared it first with me, about the developers who make the XCOM games, where if you don't know what that is, I don't blame you. It is a RTS game, a real-time strategy game, is leaked, not rumored, but just like the Guardians game was leaked to be made, this leaked game from the XCOM developers are said to be making a Marvel game in the style of XCOM, which is a real-time strategy game, so it's kind of like you control characters and tell them what to do. It's kind of like turn-based combat in a way, but in kind of more of a, again, strategic manner. So, you know, it's not really anything massive, but still anyone who is a fan of that genre and who knows what XCOM is may be excited for, which is pretty cool. So, That's pretty interesting. Lejeune, my guy, what's up, Evan? How's it going? What's up, Lejeune? Everyone go subscribe and follow to Lejeune right now. Easily the man you go to for Avengers news. I don't go to anyone else because I'm currently not excited for the game. And currently, you know, we knew, you know, ages, not even before the teaser since, what was it, early this year or late last year when they showed Black Panther in Marvel's Avengers. Like, duh, we knew he was coming, but now we are getting him in the War for Wakanda expansion, so that will be interesting to see how that turns out in August or September, summer and beyond. We still don't know the official month yet, but we're going to see more of him during E3. So Lejeune is definitely going to cover it. I'm sure he's going to do a reaction as well, so go follow and subscribe to him. I probably will not record my reaction to it. I will record my reaction for the Guardians of the Galaxy game to see what that looks like. But for Avengers and Black Panther, probably not, because it's Black Panther. Like, we know what to expect. It's Wakanda. It's T'Challa. We know Christopher Judge is voicing him. We know that there will be Claw. We know what's in it already, so it's like I'm not really excited to see how it'll turn out. I just hope it doesn't suck and it doesn't let people down like what the two Hawkeyes did. You know, Hawkeye Clint Barton and Hawkeye Kate Bishop. So, we'll see. Yeah, Lejeune, hopefully it's a turnaround for the game. Fingers crossed. I am hoping, but I will be critical, but fair. So if it is cool, then, you know, great, more power to them. But if it's not, then we're going to have a problem. All right, so as you can see, I'm going to go solo by myself. And we have all these characters. Knives, also known as, actually, no, I was going to say Best Girl, but I think Kim is actually Best Girl. Even though she swings for the same team, it's fine. She's a great character. But we're going to do Scott with the red shirt, of course. Rough and Tough, which is the normal difficulty. Oh man, it's been ages since I've heard this music. Okay, so let me check really quick before we start level 1. The stream is live and it is shared on Twitter so you guys can see it. Great. And again, if you are tuning in right now, welcome. Happy Saturday, by the way. Hopefully you're having an enjoyable weekend. Not a lot going on right now in terms of me personally, or even news, because we're all just waiting for E3 at this point to get some reveals, get some amazing announcements. And no, before you start, no, I don't think we're seeing Spider-Man 2. Get that out of your heads right now. Again, we've already done a video about it. I've gone about it in several tangents. No, because Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart comes out June 11th. E3 starts literally the day afterwards, June 12th to June 15th, I think. Insomniac would be crazy to then reveal the most excited game we're all hyped for right now is the sequel to Spider-Man, instead of mainly promoting the game that they just released at that point is Rift Apart. So it'd be insane. I doubt we're going to see it, although I think maybe if they have a separate state of play, the leak is a rumor. I think it's a leak at this point. The leak is that PlayStation will have a separate state of play, which I did talk about in one of my videos, not attending E3, although they will attend Summer Games Fest, but there's also a big tease, rumor, leak thing that they will have a separate state of play presentation on June 28th, which might showcase some updates about either Horizon Forbidden West or the recently delayed God of War Ragnarok, or if you're crazy enough to think so, maybe Marvel Spider-Man 2, which, by the way, again, if it is a cross-gen game, I'm gonna cry, because it should not be. It should be a fully PS5 exclusive game, just like Rift Apart, just like Returnal, and just like Marvel Spider-Man Remastered, because we already, like, it's not even a question at this point if they'll do it, because Ben Jordan exists. You know, the whole reason why they recasted Peter is because, oh, we need a guy for our next-gen Peter Parker model to bring better enhanced performance and life to the character of Peter Parker that John Bubniak couldn't do. And he's only on, well, which is weird because they say that, but then he's also on the PS4 version of Miles Morales, which did not need to have a redo if it's still on current-gen consoles. So already there's a flaw with that statement that they made, if Ben Jordan exists in the cross-gen version of Miles on the PS4. But they got him specifically for the PS5, Ben Jordan. So I think they're trying to indicate, oh, Ben Jordan's on Peter Parker's face in the remaster and Miles Morales, but he's mainly going to be Peter. The main time we'll see what Ben and his character model is capable of is in the sequel hopefully being a PS5 exclusive. Again, if it's not, then that would make no sense, and it would also elude me to not needing to buy a PS5 in the slightest. The only reason why I need a PS5 right now is for the channel. If I was just a general, average consumer and I did not have a channel or a platform, I would feel the same way as how I got the PS4. I mean, the PS4 came out 2013. I didn't get my PS4, the base PS4, until 2015 when Arkham Knight came out. That's why I got a PS4 in the first place, is to play Arkham Knight and also Assassin's Creed Unity, which was, in my opinion, an okay game. I like 2 and Brotherhood the best, but Unity was fine for what it was. And in my opinion, after you get the patches, it runs pretty fine, but it wasn't as good as the other Assassin's Creeds, in my opinion. But that's the whole reason. They gave the entire analytical reasoning for next-gen Peter Parker to have a presence on PS5 to bring better performances to the future of the series, what they said. So we're going to most likely see that take effect once we see the sequel only on PS5. And again, if it's not if it's not an exclusive and it's only a cross-gen game, then that is insane, and that would be literally invalidating the reason for even needing a PS5. Granted, you get better loading times, you get better frame rate. I'm mainly wanting, frankly, for me personally, the main reason why I want a PS5 is to DualSense controller. I know Franco can attest to this, that's saying it's one of the best features of the PS5, and I agree based on everything I've seen, because that's something different. That's something that the PS4 cannot do, is give you more immersive controls to make you feel more connected to the game and everything that it can make you feel. Again, it makes you feel like Spider-Man. Like, well, take that to the nth degree. It makes you feel like an exaggerated swagger of a black teen, with the Miles Morales. So all that enhanced, though, with the controls, with the frame rate, with the ray tracing. I get it, but is it needed to play and enjoy the game on my PS4 Pro? No. But having more in-depth controls and making it feel more connected to the character you're playing, that is something that makes me very inclined to want to buy a PS5. Like, wow, that is true next gen. I've never really heard of that before, so I'm very excited to see what's going to happen there. Scott, what's going on? Oh, okay, I was like, did we just beat up all the bad guys? Because they're all gone now. Spidey Talks, Rift Apart looks like it's going to be amazing. Yes, it does. And again, I did a video 2 days ago, about the weird news from Jim Ryan and Herman Holst and all the heads at Sony Interactive, pretty much saying, like, well, we're going to focus more on, cross-gen games right now, because even though we believe in generations, we don't want to leave the PS4 people hanging. It's like, well, at the beginning of every generation, that happens, so that makes sense. But at the same time, for people like Franco or Podcast Now or Degenerate J or Caboose, who do own a next-gen console, for example, you're invalidating them of their purchase by not giving them those true exclusive titles that solidify their purchase of $400, $500+ This guy's gonna kill me, so I'm not doing too good. But and it's the beginning of the generation, so this always happens with each new slowly progressing game, which is fine. But you see how two things. One, you see how Miles Morales sold better on PS5 than on PS4, so that already is an indication that people are willing to wait to play the game on the best platform possible, and they're willing especially to wait, if the game isn't exclusive to the platform, to buy it and play it full stop. Where if it is not a cross-gen game, you'll see the PlayStation 5 as a console by itself. Hey, look, it's me. No, I'm kidding. You see a console by itself is selling repeatedly faster every time we get an update for it. So, like, every time we get a new shipment of consoles in store, and of course it's so hard for people to come by, but every time they're able to pick one up, it still gets a lot of sales and is making waves amongst consumers. So people are willing to wait for new exclusive console games, and they're also willing to buy the console at full price to play these games. So, it depends on what game that they're playing. It depends on what game that they're releasing on the console, and it depends if the consumer is interested to buy the game on only that platform. And based on what we've seen, the statistics show that they are. People, even me, I would be willing to have waited for Miles Morales if it was only a PS5 exclusive. But again, I wasn't able to get one at launch because stupid scalpers and Black Friday crisis and shortage issues, so that's a problem on my part, not being able to snag one on time. Even though I tried my ass off, I mean, there's photos of me waiting in line at a Black Friday sale during Black Friday outside of like my local Target to try and get a PS5. Sleeping, camping outside, and I still didn't get one. So I tried everything I could. I feel proud in the fact that I did my best, but I of course need one right now for the channel. This frickin' okay, coming out. Okay, good. Scott got back up from that. Great. They just bum rush you every time they come in, these guys. But yeah, and let me know if the volume is too loud, by the way, as well. I forget. I made sure that it was low, but sometimes I understand that it might be a bit too high for some people. But I think this time it is okay. Let's see, yeah, Ghosty. Gran Turismo 7 and Miles Morales were shown back in June of 2020, and people thought those games were not going to be exclusive, but end up being console exclusive, I think. Yeah, Blasty, not Black Market, Black Friday. Whoops, that would be a really odd transaction period if I was a Black Market consumer. That would be intense. But yeah, I think the weird thing, Ghosty, is that even, you know, Gran Turismo 7 was advertised to be a PS5 exclusive. Oh no! They're freaking dogpiling Scott. No! Okay, nice. Let's go. Oh, and he's got supercharged. Woo! Okay, yes. It's very, very strange how this current console generation is handling the exclusives. And I want them to succeed, and I want the best for these games. But yeah, if they're kind of sacrificing, quote-unquote, the quality or the amount of potential that the game can handle only on next-gen, instead of doing cross-gen, or doing cross-gen instead of doing next-gen, then yeah, we got kind of a concern in a way. Like, I'm wanting, like, there's no need for me right now, other than the channel, to go out and buy a PS5. When I can play Miles, I can play the base Spider-Man game on my PS4 with John Bubniak, so that's a plus. And also Avengers and Scott Pilgrim and Mass Effect. Hell, even Mass Effect Legendary Edition came out recently, and it's not an exclusive. It's still on PS4. And for some reason, I was under the assumption that it was only on PS5 and Series X, but no, it's a cross-gen game. It's only a current-gen game, actually. It's on PS4 and Xbox One. It's not on Series X or PS5. So again, these massive games are still coming out, and they look and run perfect. Like the people, you know, brag about the load times, like, ugh, the load time drags on for so long on the PS4. It's so fast on PS5. Literally, it takes like 2 seconds for me to load from one room of the Normandy to the next on my PS4 Pro. And same thing goes for loading up levels and stuff. It looks great. So, you know, it's all like bells and whistles at that point, but it still validates the purchase for a PS5 if you're getting the most out of it with the enhanced upgrades and the visuals and the frame rate and all that. But right now it's like more of like, in a sense, you know, not pandering to making it feel like next gen, but doing whatever little they can to make the jump from PS4 to PS5 seem as minuscule as possible for cross-gen games. And then we're going to have to wait like a couple more years to see, oh, now this is a true PS5 exclusive. This is really where the going gets tough, you know? So we're going to have to keep waiting a little bit longer for that type of thing to happen, but we'll see what goes on. Yeah, so Spidey Outcast, Andrew, great question. So I kind of skipped over that, is thoughts on the XCOM Marvel game. So yes, as I previously mentioned, and also it was brought up to my attention from fellow, you know, YouTuber Prodigy Podcast Now, who kind of let me know in the first place about it. But then it was also reported by Jason Schreier a couple minutes after he told me, is that the developers behind XCOM, which again is a real-time strategy game, so not like what Franco and I were kind of talking about, like what is a real-time strategy game. So it's not like World of Warcraft, it's not like Ultimate Alliance, but it's like, again, XCOM or, geez, I don't know, like any other like real-time strategy games in the sense of XCOM that I can think of. Like, it wasn't Divide and Conquer, it was like Command and Conquer, I think, that Franco brought up, and I can't believe I died twice already. I forgot how hard the normal difficulty of this game is. I might have to switch to Average Joe, which would be a pain, but I just started, so I'm gonna give it some time. Oh, Jesus. No. Oh, God. Great. But yeah, the real-time strategy game is gonna be appealing for, like, I would say the PC market, and also for people who may enjoy, you know, real-time strategy games. So it will be a very interesting take on the genre from Marvel characters. Like, oh, you know, I gotta control Spider-Man to take over this base and fight these enemies on this side, and then all of a sudden Iron Man's over here flying around. I'm gonna command him to go over here. So yeah, it's very odd in that genre, but I guess it's a popular genre for that developer in particular, and that game specifically for XCOM. So, and it's Marvel, you know, so they're, again, branching out, which I do appreciate a lot of, which, you know, shout out to my boy Slickmoth. He and I did a video, like, a few months ago over the future of Marvel games, what we would like to see, and we kind of talked about how one of the advantages that they have over DC at the moment with Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad is that they have a lot of variety when it comes to their games. So Spider-Man, action-adventure. I remember the secret passageway, baby. Never forget. That's right. Rainbow Road, eat your heart out. We got the subspace highway, baby. That's right. Shoot, I forgot what I was going to say. Flying pigs, don't question it. Just accept it. Get the money, and I totally missed all of them. Fantastic. Great job, Scott. Excellent. But yeah, Big Cloud Gaming, my boy, in the stream. What's up, dude? Hopefully you're doing well. Everyone go follow and subscribe to BitCloud Gaming right now. He's a genius. Covering all sorts of great PlayStation news. He's doing fantastic. And I always keep up to date with all your videos, bro. You're doing a wonderful job. But, yeah, the variety that Marvel games have. So Spider-Man, single-player, open world, action-adventure, kind of similar to the style of Batman Arkham. Like it or hate it, no matter how you feel about it, at least it's a different genre of Avengers, where it's a live service action-adventure third-person brawler, you know? So if you're into the Destiny/Anthem type of style game, that is what Avengers is, so they got that front covered. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, you know, a fighting game, so they have that. The rumor is they're going to do a Marvel Nemesis. Marvel Nemesis, God, I wish, Jesus, no. Marvel NetherRealm game, but who am I kidding? I need Marvel Nemesis 2 since yesterday, so hell with a Marvel NetherRealm game. Marvel Nemesis 2 right now, please. Marvel, Eric Monticelli, Bill Roseman, whoever's listening to this. Marvel Nemesis 2 needs to happen. That will dominate E3. Nothing else matters, and that is what you need to get working on right now, okay? I can wait for Spider-Man 2. I'll be fine with that, but if you don't bring in Marvel Nemesis 2 right now, we're going to have problems. And I can't pay my late fees because Scott's broke, but whatever. Let's see. So, yeah, you know, all I'm saying is there's all these different categories of games, and, of course, they have a massive presence on mobile, which I'm sure you guys don't really care about. We, as an audience, I'm sure, watching my videos, only care about the AAA games, so the Spider-Mans, the Avengers, the Guardians, which we're going to talk about. I guess you could call XCOM AAA, because it is made by a proper higher-up developer, but it's not in the same grandiose style as, like, what a Spider-Man 2 or a Guardians would be in that same spectrum of the game. So I'm trying to get leveled up because Scott's about to die, so come on. I need some food because Scott needs some snacks ASAP. Okay. Oh boy. I have 1 life left, but I think if I die here, I'll still be able to come back. Shoryuken! Okay, but yes, there is a lot of differentiation, variety, and significant creative freedom amongst the developers at Marvel Games, or at least the teams that Marvel Games is partnering with to deliver these experiences for. And again, if you like it or hate it, that's up to you, but they are doing something different, and at the very least, I do appreciate them for doing that. Exactly, Jared, Iron Man VR. I was about to bring that up too, the first-person virtual reality Iron Man game from Camouflage, which in my opinion was awesome. It's just that sadly no one played it because it's a VR game, but the creative freedom they have there gives it a lot of benefits that you wouldn't see amongst, like, Arkham Origins or Gotham Knights or Suicide Squad, which, by the way, Suicide Squad kind of scares me in a way, from Rocksteady, how that'll turn out, because I think they made that game in the same sense that they thought that they were going to succeed, Marvel, they being Marvel, with Marvel's Avengers. Like, oh yeah, everyone's gonna love paying, let's check notes, $15 for a cosmetic that does nothing from the Avengers Endgame suits? Yeah, I don't think so, but at the time I felt like that they were going to make a lot. They thought in their heads, like, that's a great move, super smart, oh, great choice, you know? And in reality, it did not work out for them at all. And I feel like Suicide Squad's kind of going to be in that same realm. Granted, we don't really know a lot about it right now in comparison to Gotham Knights, but I feel like it's just going to be DC's Avengers, you know, like in the same live service, quote-unquote, different characters in the Suicide Squad. You can grind for gear, you can build your own loadouts, you can free roam. They already confirmed, though, it is going to be a free roam game in Metropolis. I don't know if you can go explore other areas in the game that are DC related, like Gotham maybe, but since it is tied into the Arkhamverse, which is strange, but okay, cool, I guess. But I'm very worried about how that game will turn out. But at the very least, trust Rocksteady as a developer to see how they're going to handle the game. Let's see if we can buy anything here. Nope, because I'm poor, just like in real life. Excellent. Can relate, Scott. Can relate. Let's see. So, yeah, you know, there's a lot of interesting factors to see exactly how they're going to handle Suicide Squad. But mainly, what a lot of people want to see, though, even though they're both delayed at this point, is God of War and Gotham Knights. You know, Gotham Knights got delayed from 2021, which is supposed to come out this year, probably in this month, or probably in the next few months. But now, it, of course, got delayed to 2022, same as Hogwarts Legacy and all those other games from Warner Bros. But we'll see how it turns out, because it is not like Marvel's Avengers. It's funny because when we have read the descriptions from developers and what's going on that front from Warner Bros. Montreal, they actually kind of threw some shade at Avengers, because they said, oh, it's not live service, the cosmetics can be earned in the game, there's customizable gear, you know, there's different gear pieces to craft different suits, which then leads to more freedom and customization. So they're literally dissing on Avengers, which is hilarious. But it is not a live service game. The first and foremost, they made that very clear. It's not live service, so therefore it's not going to be like Marvel's Avengers, and it's open world, you know, open world Gotham. So that's two things it has over Avengers. However, it's not 4-player co-op, it's 2-player co-op. So, weird choice, but I guess interesting if you're going to make a more cohesive, narrative-driven type of experience. Focusing more on 2 players instead of 4 would make the most sense if you're trying to go that direction. But we'll see exactly how that's handled down the line once we get more info from that. We know Warner Bros. Games, I think, is going to be at E3, but we don't know if they're going to show Gotham Knights or Suicide Squad, and they may save it for, like, DC Fandom, if we get that. Secret Passageway, baby! Or it's Wallace's Shack. That's right, his mystery shop, which, again, I'm poor. I have no money to buy anything. Great. Franco, give me Ultimate Destruction 2. Yes. Yes. The only answer that matters. Swear to God, dude. Radical Entertainment, rest in peace, bro. How in the world is Radical Entertainment not making games anymore, guys? Can you imagine if they made, like, Prototype for PS4 or PS5, like a remaster? Not the Biohazard bundle, which was literally just a port of the game from PS3 and 360 on the PS4 and Xbox One. That was a port. That wasn't a remaster or a remake. That was just a damn port. But it was still fun to play it on my PS4. But no, I need Prototype 3. I need Radical to come back and dominate Marvel games ever since Ultimate Destruction came out. And please, that would just be fantastic. I know for a fact, though, you know, I see a lot of people saying, like, why can't we get Marvel Nemesis 2? Because they already botched that partnership with EA, which is why, again, we've discussed numerous times, you're not going to see a Naughty Dog made Daredevil game. You're not going to see a Sucker Punch made, you know, Captain America game or whatever, because it's a first-party studio by PlayStation that only works on first-party properties, and whatever game they make, it would have to be an exclusive. So that's why Spider-Man makes the most sense, because they have the gaming license rights to do that for Spider-Man. Daredevil and you know, Daredevil and, like, Jessica Jones, for example, and I don't know who else. What's another hero that people want to see a game of? Moon Knight, you know? I don't know. Punisher. All these characters can't get AAA games of their own accord because it's not in the partnership that they agreed with, which is why we see, oh, Eidos is the developer that's making a Guardians game, because they're owned by Square Enix and they are in a licensed partnership arrangement with Marvel Games, whether that be better or worse, to do a multi-year, multi-game partnership. So they started with Avengers, it flopped massively, the reception was less than popular, and we're still waiting for goddamn Black Panther, probably what, say September? So, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. So, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. 9 months! 9 months! And now we're getting an update about Black Panther. He's not even in the game yet. We're just getting an update about how Black Panther is going to run in the game. So that's insane. I think that's unacceptable, especially for a live service game. Again, as a comparison, Genshin Impact just released a character of Eula, who is like a cryo claymore user, heavy sword wielder. She has her own story mission. There's a brand new event in the game to take on some special hilly trolls, which you've seen me do in previous live streams. It's great. It's fun. The combat's unique for her character. There's a lot of differentiation in terms of her other, character counterparts of that same accord, like Chong Yun, who's also the same exact type. He is also a cryo claymore wielder. But she's a legendary character who has her own story. There's a lot of interesting factors about her inclusion in the game, and popular events that are fun to do and are rewarding once you complete them. The Red Room Takeover has not been that at all. It's been terrible, not worth your time, just a reuse of assets that we've already been playing since launch. And now, what people have been really waiting for this entire time with the roadmap is indeed Black Panther. And now we're finally getting an update for him ages later. It's like too little too late in my opinion. So it's like at that point when we see his trailer during E3 or whatever it's going to be during the convention, the Square Enix Presents thing, I'll be like, yeah, we knew you were coming. Now, the only thing that really matters is if it's going to be worth our time. And for right now, again, none of the events, the Tachyon Anomaly, the Red Room, what looks like what's going to be happening with the Villain Sector, the Cosmic Cube, and also the Wasteland Patrol, that doesn't matter. What matters is including a character. So like Genshin Impact, we went from Rosaria to Yanfei to Eula in about the span of like a couple weeks, which is insane. Like that's a really quick turnaround for a live service free-to-play game, which is like, you would think they need a lot of resources to make this happen. And granted, it's different developers working on these different projects at different parts of the world. And in China, where Genshin is made, is not really as affected from COVID as much as it is here in the States. But, God, like, when you play a game like Genshin Impact versus Avengers, and it's the same genre of game, you can see the difference in quality almost instantly. So that's what I'm talking about there. Crash and the boys, baby! Oh, man. Where's Matthew? Where's he at? Oh boy, there's Wallace and Scott's sister's boyfriend / Wallace's boyfriend. Great. Matthew Patel, baby! Oh yeah, let's go. Oh, it's been ages since I fought him. Oh man, and again, playing rough and tough, so if I die to this, I'm gonna be pretty upset. But yeah, let's see. Jared, I need an open world Deadpool game. Well, okay, 2 things. Okay, actually 3 things. 1, as I said, I don't think that can actually happen given the partnerships that we've seen. 2, we already have a Deadpool game, which is really fun, which is level-based, but I think that kind of fits the character of Deadpool perfectly. The combat was fun. I know people don't like meme pool, you know, the meme version of Deadpool instead of like the actual comic-accurate version of him, but I liked it for what it was. I thought it was enjoyable, and I thought it got the job done for like an actual solo adventure Deadpool game. But 3... voice crack. 3, Marvel Games is actually confirmed to not be able, I guess, or just not creatively choose to do this, make M-rated games. Because a Deadpool game can only work as an M-rated game, let's be honest. Same thing with Punisher. And on their website, you know, on their Twitter page, you see on their description, we're making games from E to T. So E for everyone and T for teen. So they're not making M-rated games. So if we were ever get a Punisher game, it would only be rated T. It would not be rated M. Same thing goes for maybe Moon Knight or Deadpool. Hell, even like a dark, gritty X-Men game, that probably would only be T as well. So yeah, I would like to see that too. Any type of creative freedom would be cool from Marvel. But I don't know. Yeah, a Kushoot 92, an open world Hulk game. Please give me playable World Breaker. That'd be cool. I'd be down for that. Just like Ultimate Destruction, literally Radical Entertainment, the kings of action adventure open world games, Prototype, and oh Jesus, oh God, I only have 1 life left. Oh no, and I'm gonna get murdered by these demon hipster chicks. Oh God, Matthew, please, come on, no. Oh Scott, it takes so long for him to get off the ground. Oh no. I can't even... Oh, if I had a teammate with me, this would help out immensely, but I'm gonna die. Oh, maybe if I go quick. Oh, I got one of them. Oh, no. Hold on. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God! Oh, no! Oh, he got the comeback! Oh, wait a minute. This is like the Green Goblin, struggle, the damn, Jesus, God, I can't even speak. Oh, Jesus, the clutch Green Goblin boss fight from Ultimate Spider-Man. We're back with this, but for Scott Pilgrim. Let me stay over on this side, actually. Get this demon hipster chick out of the way. Great. Flying Kick of Fury! Come on, baby, I'm focusing on Matt. I can't even talk about Marvel games right now, please! Oh, Jesus. Oh no! Oh, he's got me from the back! Oh no! Wait a minute, oh God. No, please! Oh my God. I'm sweating. Oh, no! Oh, God. Great. Now, if I died, do I start the whole level over again? Oh, my God. Okay. Great. Oh, Jesus. Wow. Excellent. So we wasted 35 minutes for nothing. Excellent. Oh, Jesus. Now, wait. Do I have all my upgrades? Maybe I'll have an advantage at that point. Oh, God. Oh, I missed you, Scott. Except I did not miss getting my ass kicked. Okay. Yes. So that's kind of what I'm talking about right now with Marvel games, in the sense of the legal possibilities that can happen, the things that we can likely expect, and the confirmed things that are going to be at E3 down the line. And again, one of which is Guardians of the Galaxy. So if that happens to be good, I will be happy. I will be very happy if it turns out great. But right now, I'm not expecting much, because you have the exact same developer from Marvel's Avengers working on this game, who's a co-developer, I get it, but from Marvel's Avengers, you know, the main developer of Marvel's Avengers was Crystal Dynamics. Now we have Eidos Montreal leading the charge for Guardians of the Galaxy, which I don't care what anyone says. It is Guardians of the Galaxy. I know people are like, well, it's not confirmed yet. Evan's like, no, it's been leaked ever since 2017, so it's obviously happening. Whether or not that will be for the best is up, you know, to be determined, but I do not want them to do it anything like Avengers. If it's anything like Avengers, sign me out. You know, like, you know, just leave me to die, because they know how bad Avengers flopped, and I can guarantee you right now, that was not anyone's creative decision from Crystal Dynamics on that front, especially since I interviewed the creative director, one of the creative directors of the game, Noah Hughes, at E3 2019. I interviewed him in person for the channel. You can check it out. There's no way in hell that they willingly decided to make Avengers a live service looter shooter like Destiny. I know for a fact that was a corporate decision from Square Enix, because they want to milk the Avengers property for as much money as they can, and they thought, well, we can do that by making it live service, by making continuous updates, because that would be great, and all that cool stuff with new content. Like, yeah, in a perfect world maybe, but as you can see, that did not work out for them, so that's kind of their problem. So I want Guardians, what I've also said on Twitter in one of my previous videos talking about Guardians, to pretty much be like Marvel's Mass Effect, you know, like action-adventure, story-driven, RPG-centric, cool gunplay mechanics, single-player oriented, you know, fun action-adventure game. Like, and possible co-op elements too, because of the Guardians. You know, you have different characters, almost like a Gotham Knights. You know, it's not live service, but there are live service elements because of the characters in Avengers, making new Avengers coming in to expand the roster, kind of like Marvel Ultimate Alliance, except it's not as fun. So, you know, in a very odd way, which I do not like at all, and how it's handled in the game and in its structure. But you know, if Guardians can learn from those mistakes and rectify it and do something different, then I'm all for it. I would be very happy to see exactly how it can turn out, and I just don't want it to fall under the same pitfalls as Avengers, because I want Marvel games to succeed. I like the Guardians. They're not like my favorite team of all time, but seeing them get a AAA game is pretty darn cool, especially after the lackluster stuff we got with the Telltale series, the Guardians of the Galaxy Telltale series. If any of you guys played that, which in my opinion was not as good, yeah, we need some improvements on that front relatively soon. Let's see, Miles Morales, why do you think Spider-Man 2 will release next year? PlayStation have other exclusives in line. I mean, it's kind of right there in the obvious. Insomniac's working on Rift Apart to release. You know, they're obviously currently working on Spider-Man 2 right now. It's not like, oh, after they release Rift Apart, now they can finally make Spider-Man 2. No, they obviously have different teams for different projects. They're currently, you know, they even did that with like their VR game, the Stormland, and the Outspoken, I think. That was before Spider-Man PS4 came out. If anyone remembers those early days, the VR days, the 2016 to 2017 Year of Silence days, you'll know what I'm talking about. But, no, you know, they're working on Rift Apart. That's coming out next week, I think, you know, the 11th of June. So after they finish that, we can then expect them to fully focus on Spider-Man 2. But I don't think they would be crazy enough to say, okay, Rift Apart's now out. Hey, everybody, instead of focusing on this new game we just released, how about you instead see this brand new trailer for Spider-Man 2? Especially when all these other Marvel games are coming out, Black Panther and Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, hell, if they do it, you're not going to hear a single complaint from me. I would love to see a reveal, of course. I'm just saying I don't see it's feasibly possible for them to do that, considering everything else that's going on. But we'll see. It's only like a couple weeks from now until E3 happens, or actually next week, I think. So, and then, you know, PlayStation's going to be at Summer Games Fest. And if Jeff Keighley says, you know, expect a cool announcement from Insomniac Games during this PlayStation showcase for Summer Games Fest, or again, if there's a individual PlayStation State of Play that happens, then yeah, that's great. But right now, I just think that they should focus on Ratchet, release Ratchet, and then, of course, maybe by the end of the year, or maybe early next year, then release a trailer for Spider-Man 2. Because again, what I want it to be is a PS5 exclusive. So then I would think waiting for it to have more people acquire the console and say, okay, now there's a good amount of people out there in the market that own the PS5. What game can we persuade them with to help us solidify the purchase of the PS5 more? Oh, I know. Spider-Man 2, only on PS5. That would be a lock. That would be crazy, and that would be the best possible outcome for Insomniac to, you know, solidify their partnership with PlayStation and also just make Spider-Man the best game possible for the next-gen hardware. Because again, if Spider-Man 2 is a cross-gen game and you can play it on PS4, then A, the PS5 is pointless, and B, there'd be no reason for me personally to go out and buy a PS5 other than just needing to use the console for creating content for the Remaster and Miles on the channel. Because I could review the console, I could unbox the console, I could talk about the game on next gen, I could say whether or not it deserves a purchase, whether or not the remaster was even needed in the first place. I'm sure Franco can confirm on his own perspective whether or not it was, but I'm just saying from my own personal perspective, I'll give my own opinions on that, so we'll see. Vinyl Conspiracy Gamer, wait, that Thanos game sounds like Square Enix only have if the code exists. I guess you mean like a Thanos game, or you mean like Thanos and Fortnite, pretty much? That would suck. Perry Sterick, are we ever going to be getting Spider-Man and Marvel's Avengers video game? We will see. Again, Square Enix is confirmed to be attending E3 and Summer Games Fest, and they also said future updates on the roadmap, so what we're in the know of is that Spider-Man should still be releasing in 2021, you know, this year for Marvel's Avengers, and he should come out after Black Panther. That's confirmed what we know of so far. And that's an instance where I think it's okay. I'm like, oh, Marvel's Spider-Man 2 reveal. Like, nope, that would take all attention away from literally everything else. No, if they show, like, a reveal trailer for Spider-Man in Marvel's Avengers, a character, again, we've known about for ages now, and we haven't seen a single glimpse of him in the game at all, yeah, finally showing a reveal trailer for him would be needed and probably the best outcome for the game, in my opinion. But we will see. I hope we see him, and personal, probably unpopular opinion, I love him. I literally interviewed him, so he's also personally my favorite person to play Spider-Man, but I don't want Yuri Lowenthal to play Spider-Man in Marvel's Avengers, because it's not the same version from the Insomniac game, and that's the whole point. Like, oh, we're gonna make Marvel's Avengers, or we're gonna make Marvel's Avengers have Spider-Man in it, but we're not gonna make it the Spider-Man from Insomniac's game. He's gonna be our own version, but even with that in mind, he's still only exclusive to PlayStation. So already that makes no sense. And if he was already going to be an exclusive character to PlayStation, why not make it the version that's already exclusive to PlayStation with Insomniac's version? So if this is a completely different Spider-Man who's not the same version from Insomniac's game, he should not be voiced by Yuri Lowenthal. He should be voiced by either Josh Keaton, my boy, if he's around, Neil Patrick Harris, or Christopher Daniel Barnes. Those three are the only ones that I would accept to do a Spider-Man voice audition role for for Marvel's Avengers Spider-Man. And granted, you know, we've already seen Yuri voice other Spider-Men in other games like Ultimate Alliance 3, Marvel Future Revolution. They just showed a trailer for Spider-Man the other day, and he's going to be voicing Spider-Man in that game. But those are like lower level games, you know? It's not the same like AAA spectrum as Marvel's Spider-Man 2 or Marvel's Avengers. And especially when this whole thing is already confusing as is, where Spider-Man is not going to be on Xbox and he's not the same version from Insomniac's game, then why make him voiced by the same character of that game? So that's what I hope does not happen. I want him to be voiced by someone else to solidify it as, oh yeah, that's Crystal Dynamics Spider-Man. So that's Josh Keaton as Spider-Man, or that's Christopher Daniel Barnes as Spider-Man. But I think a reveal for him, besides Black Panther and besides Guardians of the Galaxy, besides real other Marvel games we know about, I could see that happening. I could see a Spider-Man maybe reveal or just an update saying, oh, he's coming out in December with No Way Home, you know? Because they already did that with, quote-unquote, the Red Room, where they tried to, like, oh, it's going to tie in with Black Widow, and really the Black Widow movie got delayed again, so whatever that meant. So how is this guy not dead? Come on. Very strange dealings on the Sony front and just on the marketplace value of that whole stuff with Square Enix and that partnership, but we'll see how it turns out. Jordan Laskett, AAA Ben 10 game. I would like to see it. Why not? Have Yuri voice Ben? I mean, please. I mean, that's the only person I can think of who can voice Ben. So that should happen. Other than, you know, Tara Strong, of course, is Little Ben 10, but Teenage Ben 10 is Yuri for life. Small stuff here, but let me buy it. I got stuff from that, but I need more food. I need more expensive food. And I just lost all my health points from that stupid trash can. Thanks. Oh god, if I lose again to Matthew, I'm gonna cry. But I need health. I don't need to die. Please. That would just suck immensely. Okay. These guys are bum rushing me to no end. Oh yeah. We'll see how it turns out for Square Enix on Spider-Man and Avengers with Black Panther, because right now, again, I'm not really looking forward to the Black Panther stuff because I'm waiting for it for so damn long. So at this point, it's like more too little too late at that point. And again, I will not react to it. I will just probably do a video about it and give up the details about what's happening on that front with Black Panther. But if it ends up being cool and sweet and it's something completely different, then fine. But right now, yeah, I'll just kind of ease my expectations into it, see what happens. How is he not dead? All right, Miles Morales. But that's not my question, Evan. My question, why do you think it will release in 2022? Oh, you mean Spider-Man 2? Because Insomniac are wizards. They literally released trailers for both Miles Morales and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart on the same day. So I think also they're saying like they're kind of getting back to work in some regard. And I've even seen Bill Roseman say stuff like that on Instagram. And Eric Monticelli getting back to work. And they know, again, Marvel Games has Spider-Man, as you know, Spider-Man PS4, as a $1 billion property. The first game on PS4, not the remaster, but our main one with our boy John Bubniak on PS4 2018, literally sold over 20 million copies and is officially a $1 billion gaming property that sold more than a multi-platform game with, you know, the Arkham games. So, like, they're going for it, you know, like, they know how popular Spider-Man is, they know how much the game means to people, they know how much it's looking forward to by people with the sequel, not Miles Morales being a cross-gen game, but an official, full-on Marvel Spider-Man 2 sequel with Peter, with Harry as Venom, with Green Goblin, with Wraith, with Lizard, you know, all these characters and stuff. They know how much people want that, and they know that's going to break sales records and hype charts when it's unveiled and stuff like that. So I need them to take their time with it, but I understand that if they were to delay it in 2023 because of COVID and all that, I get it. But I think they're making a lot of progress right now with it, even though we haven't heard a single word about it officially. We've seen Ben Jordan tease stuff. We've seen Najee Jeter tease stuff. We've kind of seen, like, where the production value is amongst mocap stuff. Also with Herman Hulse, kind of in that interview, he did bring up the aspect of motion capture and how people go about doing stuff nowadays to record things. So they're making a lot of headway for a lot of their exclusives. So I think it's farther along than we're expecting, but I don't think we should expect any peep about it right now for this year. If we're lucky, we could see a reveal for it next year or by the end of this year. But releasing, again, I think either fall or winter 2022, holiday, 2022, like Miles, would make the most sense. Definitely not early 22, definitely not mid 2022, late or holiday, 2022 for release. If we're lucky, again, I think release maybe 2023 is a bit more understandable and a bit more realistic, considering everything going on nowadays. But announcing it maybe this year, just like what they did with God of War Ragnarok. They didn't even show a single gameplay clip of the game. They just said, with some audio from Kratos, and granted that got delayed, but all they did was, prepare yourself, boy. And then Ragnarok is coming 2021. Of course, it didn't come out in 2021, but that's all they would have to do. Do like a Spider-Man 3 movie-esque teaser where they just have like text on screen, and then they have the black suit kind of flow over it, and then all of a sudden you see the black suit advanced suit logo with narration from Yuri. You see the title Marvel Spider-Man 2 or Marvel Spider-Man Dark Reign or whatever, or Marvel Spider-Man subtitle here, releasing 2023 or 2022. I'd be so down for that. I would be so pumped, and I can guarantee everyone else would too. Regina George, hi Evan. Shout out to my friends Sylvia, Parati, and Lila. Cheers. What's up, Regina? What's up, Sylvia? And what's up, Lila? Hopefully I'm pronouncing all your names right. Thank you so much for tuning in the stream. Hope you're having a wonderful Saturday. I very much appreciate your support, and I'm very happy that you're enjoying the stream. It means a lot. Let's see, Ghosty. Avalanche Studios making an Iron Man game and Remedy game. Yes! Please. My boy Carlos would totally agree. Remedy games, Doctor Strange game, win. That is an example of a game that can happen, because they can easily don't have to deal with like a company, because Remedy Games, I don't think, is owned by any specific company, not that I'm aware of. They're just kind of their own independent studio, just like Insomniac was before they were bought by PlayStation, because they were not owned by PlayStation when they were making, Spider-Man PS4. They were a third-party studio making a first-party game, so they were their own company, but now they're owned by PlayStation, so they have more resources. But Remedy is a game company that's just owned by themselves. They don't answer to anyone other than them, and they could easily make a partnership with them, like, hey, we're partnering up with Square Enix to do Avengers and Guardians. We're partnering up with the XCOM developers to do Marvel games XCOM. For that example, we're doing Insomniac for Spider-Man. And hey, Remedy, why not you just do what you do best with crazy sci-fi stories like what we've seen with Alan Wake and Control and Quantum Break, and do that for Doctor Strange, aka the best character they can make a video game out of for a single-player, solo-driven, trippy-ass game like Alan Wake was. But for Doctor Strange, are you kidding me? That's literally a match made in heaven. Now, obviously, I don't think we're going to get a game like that announced during E3. That's just a pipe dream, but it's a pipe dream that makes sense, and one that I really want to see. Another one is also what Ghosty mentioned, which is another company, which I do think is owned by Square Enix, if I remember correctly, is Avalanche Studios making a fully independent Iron Man game. Now, if you don't know, which I think, if I'm correct, Avalanche Studios made Just Cause. And I love Just Cause. Just Cause is a hilariously fun game. Mainly Just Cause 2 is my favorite, which I think is a lot of people's favorites, but they did a lot of stuff to innovate the game in 3, but I just had so much fun with 2 versus every other game. It's like, if you don't know, Just Cause is like an action-adventure, open-world, third-person shooter, but you can glide everywhere. It's a huge tropical island you can explore. There's lots of side missions to do. Crazy vehicle combat, crazy gun combat, kind of simplistic melee combat, but just to get the job done. It's just kind of bare bones and simplistic in that manner, but the destruction and the chaos you can do in that game, the whole thing, there's like a whole chaos meter that increases every time with psychopath nuts Rico Rodriguez. Like, God, he's just hilarious. So I would love that. And that is one, again, you have to look at the partnerships. Okay, Square Enix owns different companies, just like PlayStation owns different companies. So even if they wanted to, again, like they could have chosen they could have chosen Naughty Dog to do Spider-Man. They could have chosen Sucker Punch to do Spider-Man. They could have chosen anyone under their company that they own to do Spider-Man, but they can't choose which character in Marvel to make a character of for their first-party studios because they don't have the gaming rights for them. They have the gaming rights for Spider-Man because Sony owns Spider-Man in the movies, but they also have the legal rights to do it for the games. I think I'm going to beat Matthew this time, thank God, because I was way underpowered and I didn't have any level up, one-up stuff in my inventory, so we're going to be fine now. Sorry I died that whole first time. I had to redo the entire level. But we're making good progress. But again, yeah, you know, what Ghosty was saying is that Avalanche Studios is one that makes sense, because Avalanche is owned, I think, by Square Enix. You know, we see Just Cause is published by Square Enix, so if they wanted to, they could do like a Marvel game in that territory, of like a single-player Iron Man game, or like a single-player open-world Punisher. Oh my god, they would be fantastic, actually. Single-player action-adventure, Avalanche Studios develop Punisher game? Yeah. And make it T-rated. I know Punisher mainly only works for M-rated, but just like Deadpool, but I think if they want to do whatever they can to make like a, you know, a Punisher game, at bare minimum, make it T, and then also make it open world and make it developed by Avalanche Studios. I think that'd be great. Not Avalanche Software, who I think is making Hogwarts Legacy, because they're owned by Warner Bros., I think. Or that's a different team, I think. The Port and Key Games, I think. Port Key Games, which is their own separate studio making Hogwarts Legacy. But I think, yeah, I think a AAA Avalanche Studios made Marvel game is perfect. I would love that. Expand the roster of Marvel games, more variety, more developers creating talented IPs for the you know, the game and the characters at hand, and that's what matters most. Hey, we did it! I can't believe I died. Yeah, I don't think I would have won that fight the first time around, but I got some Canadian doubloons. Excellent. Oh yeah, nailed it. Okay, only took 1 hour to beat the first level. Awesome. Yes, Vinyl Conspiracy Gamer, we need a Black Knight game by Nintendo. I would hate Square Enix would need to do it, but Nintendo's Zelda team is perfect for that. Yeah, I mean, you see, Team Ninja, I think their name is, that did Ultimate Alliance 3, so that's a Nintendo Switch exclusive. So they have the opportunity to make all these games if they want. They just have to utilize the developers, and if they're passionate enough to make the game on their own terms. I would like to see it. But we will find out if E3 is worth it for Square Enix and mainly, I guess, PlayStation if you're looking forward to their convention for Summer Games Fest and maybe a State of Play. But again, I'm saying it right now, don't get your hopes up for Spider-Man 2. If I had to give a percentage, like, bare minimum wager ballpark estimate, I would say that Marvel's Spider-Man 2 official reveal for that game being seen during Summer Games Fest or a PlayStation State of Play is 10 to 20%. At the very least, again, we'll see like a God of War Ragnarok-esque teaser of like, here's the logo, here's the date, only on PS5, you're done. That's all you need, really, to just put people's minds at ease, especially if Marvel's Avengers is not doing it for them. Heaven, a pipe dream of mine is a DC, Rocksteady, and Bandai Namco making a fully AAA Superman game starring Jerry O'Connell as the voice. That would be fantastic. That is actually literally a dream come true, and I'm still shocked that of all the games that Marvel or DC have decided to do and use Rocksteady, of all developers, you're using Rocksteady to make a DC Suicide Squad game? Why? And it's so obvious that they're banking off the movie hype, because I don't believe it for a second that just like with you know, you have to take gaming developer responses at face value, but you have to understand that there are a lot more inner business dealings that aren't being told to the general market. That's why, again, I have my own personal criticisms and skepticisms about the face change for Peter. I definitely think that was a Sony forced move for them to do it to make it look more like Tom Holland instead of, it's better for the performance. I don't buy that for a second. So I think the reason why Rocksteady's doing a Suicide Squad game is to help bank, because we're seeing, look, what? Another Suicide Squad movie from James Gunn. A Suicide Squad game. I'm pretty sure there's even like a Suicide Squad animated movie coming out soon, too. And some comics as well. Like, a lot of DC Suicide Squad hype for some reason. But you're telling me that they thought the best use that they could put Rocksteady in for the DC gaming spectrum, especially since this game is still connected to the Arkhamverse and Superman is in it, is instead of playing as the Justice League, because Suicide Squad killed the Justice League, you play as the Suicide Squad instead?
Why? I don't understand who asked for this. Like, kind of a waste of talent, in my opinion. Now, granted, we haven't seen how the game will turn out, but I don't think that's a smart move, or at least I would not have chosen, for me personally, to put Rocksteady in charge of a Suicide Squad game. I find that very odd, and I hope it turns out well. But if you told me I could either get a Suicide Squad game from Rocksteady or a Superman game, no. Superman game all the way, and yeah, Jerry O'Connell as Superman would be fantastic. I would love to see that. Oh my god, ow. These stunt guys, holy smokes. We're on the set of Zack Snyder Army of the Dead, I think that's what this is. A movie which I have still not seen. Let's see, Spidey Outcast, I would have preferred Superman game by Rocksteady too. Yeah, exactly. Let's see, Evan, what do you think a Hellcat game would be like? Now, I'm sure you mean Hellcat from like Jessica Jones Hellcat and not Black Cat from Spider-Man. I would like it, you know, Patty Walker, I think. If I'm pretty sure that's Hellcat, I would be interested. I mainly want a Jessica Jones game. Honestly, if you guys have played LA Noire, just do that. But for Marvel, do you understand how cool that would be? Like like kind of a deep, psychological, detective crime drama thriller video game in the style of LA Noire, where you can like interrogate people, but you're also a superhero who can get in like to combat sequences, like kind of like the Arkham combat mixed with LA Noire. That would be amazing. I would love to see something like that. Really dark and gritty narrative storytelling, a female-led protagonist, you know? Since Kamala Khan was a step in the right direction, but that was a false marketing ploy if I've ever seen one. You know, like, I really like Sandra Saab. She's a great actress. She's very kind. She follows me on Twitter, too, by the way, so she's great. Mocap. Oh, no. Run away. Oh, my God. He's bum-rushing me. But it was false marketing. Like, oh, play Marvel's Avengers for the Kamala Khan story? Like, that wasn't really the driving force that I think a lot of people were looking forward to for the game, because they wanted to play as the Avengers. Now, I liked Kamala's inclusion in Avengers, but that wasn't what the game was promoted as. Where if you just do a solo, single-player Jessica Jones game, I'd be so down. Like, I think that would be fantastic. I think there's a lot of unique stories you can tell with her character, and a lot of different types of elements that could do things a lot more uniquely compared to a group game, you know, where you're spreading your focus amongst so many of these characters. Just like, again, Suicide Squad, why I think it was forced to be made by Rocksteady is because, oh, it's set in the Arkhamverse. It's the same universe. You know, this is the Arkham universe, Rocksteady, Suicide Squad, and Justice League team. So this is what the Suicide Squad looks like in the Arkhamverse. This is what Superman, evil, Brainiac-controlled Superman looks like in the Arkhamverse. Like, okay, like, great. The first time we see Rocksteady Superman and he's evil. Excellent. Hate it. Like, it's so stupid. But in the way, like, oh, it's the same universe, but then Deadshot is just so happens to be African American when the previous times he's been Caucasian. And again, that's because of Will Smith. That's because they try to do the same thing what they did with Marvel's Avengers, where they're trying to synchronize it with the films. Same thing why I think they got Ben Jordan for Peter Parker in the remaster, because of Sony getting involved in a really stupid way. And mainly for you know, Avengers with Kamala Khan, you know, she's her own character, and she's the most unique thing in that entire game, because we see, you know, Thor and Tony and Captain America act very similar to their MCU counterparts. Like, Thor talks like this, so he's very stoic and Norse-like, because he always has to crack a joke, and Tony is very sarcastic and lighthearted. He's very arrogant and full of himself, just like Robert Downey Jr.'s performance, because they very much try to do like a RDJ light diet discount version of Tony into that game, because that's what's popular. And that's exactly what I'm seeing from the Suicide Squad game as it is right now. And granted, you know, Harley is still voiced by Tara Strong, who voiced her in all Arkham games besides Arkham Asylum, who is voiced by, I think Arlene Sorkin is her name. The main voice, who's my favorite voice actress, by the way, to voice Harley ever, is from the animated series. But, yeah, you know, it's the same Harley, it's the same quote-unquote Deadshot, and then we see, you know, King Shark and Captain Boomerang for the first time. So that's Rocksteady's version, the Arkhamverse version of these characters. And whether or not that'll be for good is to be determined. Ghosty, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Rockstar Games making a Jessica Jones game, and maybe a Soul Calibur-inspired Marvel fighting game. Yes! Ghosty, yes. Please, I need these in my life. like, again, I suck. Like, if the Marvel NetherRealm fighting game exists, I'm personally not going to be all too hyped for it, and I don't even know if I'll cover it on the channel because I suck at fighting games, and literally it's just, what I'm expecting it to be at that point is Marvel's Injustice. So, 2D Marvel fighting game with some super moves and a story about heroes fighting each other, like Civil War-esque. And that's not really what I'm hoping for. Soul Calibur, the reason why I like it so much is, A, because the game is actually easy to control, but also because the story is really good. I know it's like maybe a bit too anime-centric for some people, like, oh, I need to get stronger. I need to fight these enemies or else I'll never be strong enough to do blah, 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 like the very comic, you know, centric anime-style tropes. But it actually is about, like, destiny and self-discovery and kind of, like, heritage and legacy about, like, fulfilling one's duty of wielding this power and whether or not you can live up to it. So I really like it with the Soul Calibur and Soul Edge swords. You know, like, I love the narrator in those games, like, a tale of souls and swords, eternally retold. Like, so good. So good. So if we get anything like that from Marvel, not like a Bandai Namco-made Marvel fighting game, but just in that realm of, like, something really story-driven and combat-centric that's fun and easy to control, and not 2D, but, like, 3D, because Soul Calibur is a 3D fighting game, not a 2D fighting game, so I'd be down for it. I'm also about to die again, which I'm not happy about. But yeah, I don't know. I need them to do something new and innovative for Marvel, and something that will get people's attention, that will say, you know what, this isn't a Spider-Man, but I'm still excited for it, whereas I don't know if Black Panther will do enough to do that. I leveled up! Oh, thank God, so I got my health back. Oh, thank you. That's a Deus Ex Machina if I've ever seen one. I think I have like two health left. This freaking alien, I swear to God. Stop moving. Brum Rusher Scott, come on, boom. Pick her up, can you? The mocap guys, they're coming back. But yeah, you know, a lot of things that'll just do the Marvel brand justice. That's what I'm hoping for, and that's what I want to see from these games, and that's what I want to have happen for Marvel to just play to their strengths. Like, again, I've mentioned this. When you think of Avengers, or even hell, Spider-Man, forget Avengers, think about Spider-Man. When you think of Spider-Man in a game format, is the first thing that you think of grinding for gear, looting chests, and shooting enemies? No! You think of open world exploration. You think of combat. You think of very fun, innovative, swinging mechanics and a great story that shows the core traits of Peter Parker. And granted, we got some of that with Kamala, but it was like too little too late because they focused too much on the narrative, or the multiplayer elements of the game. I'm also about to die. Damn. But that's why Spider-Man games, the most popular ones at least, are open-world single-player action-adventure games. When you think of Spider-Man games, you don't think of the most popular one. Like, okay, everyone list your favorite Spider-Man game in the comments right now. I'm gonna run an experiment. Literally right now in the comments, everyone list your personal favorite Spider-Man game. Is that Spider-Man PS4? Is it the Neversoft game? Is it Miles? Is it Web of Shadows? Is it Edge of Time? I hope not. I know Ethan Costello is going to come in here and probably say yes. Jesus, please no. But yeah, just as an experiment right now, and I'm going to die again. Why? Every time I go through the entire level, I have no health left, and I have only one life left. So that is a very unfortunate circumstance. Jesus. But yeah, right now. Okay, so Spider-Man PS4, Miles, Shattered Dimensions, Web of Shadows, Spider-Man PS4 Remaster. Like right now, okay, so Spider-Man PS4 Shattered Dimensions. Great. So right now, the majority of those, and I'm sure there's more people answering, is open world. And granted, Shattered Dimensions is a linear-based level game, but the best ones of those are Spider-Man 2, are Web of Shadows, are Spider-Man PS4, are Miles Morales. Why is that? Oh, because it fulfills the wish and the desire and embodies the traits of Spider-Man in a video game, which is open world exploration, which is action-adventure storytelling, which is fun combat mechanics, which is just, a great Spider-Man story. I'm also about to die again. God damn it. Scott, please, level up if you can. And I just died the second I got revived. Awesome. Yeah, this game is definitely meant to be played co-op. Playing it single player is obviously a struggle, and I can guarantee right now, after we do this level, I'm probably going to end the stream. But, damn, that is painful. But yeah, so you don't think of Spider-Man looting in Shattered Dimensions or the Neversoft game or Edge of Time. He's not looting chests. as much. I mean, Edge of Time, I know you do a lot of stupid console stuff and opening locked doors and finding the floating particle things, whatever the tachyon blue experience particles, whatever it is. But you don't do like a first-person shooter Spider-Man game, you know? Like, that doesn't make sense. So make a game that fits to the strengths of the character. So for Avengers, no way in hell anyone was wanting a live service looter shooter Avengers game. No, they wanted something in the same realm of like Shattered Dimensions, a linear-based action-adventure game with upgrades and a story and single player, maybe co-op, because that's all it would take to just deliver a solid experience. And they didn't do that, and that's on them for kind of getting people in a very odd manner to trust them for these properties in the future. Vinyl Conspiracy Gamer, Thanos open world treasure hunting game. If you mean Fortnite, then no. If you just mean something else, then please also no. I would cry. If that happened, I would probably cry. God, who knows? Maybe. At this point in 2021, who knows? Who really knows? Let's see. Yeah, Ghosty, you already know what's going on. Marvel Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Marvel Spider-Man Venom, Marvel Spider-Man 3. Yeah, that's the Insomniac franchise to a T. Vinyl Conspiracy, not Fortnite E. Who knows? The same thing. What do you mean? You grind for stuff, you have the pickaxe, Thanos with a gun? I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happens in Endgame, right? He just dabs, he dances, he does the floss, and then by the end of it, he just shoots Iron Man in the face instead of using the gauntlet. He just grabs an AK-47 and just murks him instantly. Who knew? Who knew? Thanos was intense like that. He doesn't play around. Yeah, Dennis Mason, Sucker Punch should do a Hulk game. I would like to see it, but again, I don't think that can legally happen, given what we're currently seeing with, you know, Avengers and the Square Enix deal. So what I'm saying is, every character, sadly, like, and Ghosty brought up a good point too about a, you know, open world Avalanche Studios core developed Iron Man game. That's why we're seeing these team games, because I don't think we're going to be seeing any solo characters in their own games, given that they already had a presence in Marvel's Avengers, especially considering how long it takes to make these games. So anyone who was hoping for an action-adventure, open-world, Wakanda, explorable Black Panther game, you're not going to get that, because Black Panther is now in Marvel's Avengers. Anyone hoping for an Iron Man solo-centric game, open-world style? I don't think so, because he's also in Marvel's Avengers. Now, granted, we have Iron Man VR, but that's a VR game. That's just like a side one-off game to just embody the experience of what it feels like to fly around as Iron Man in the suit, to be in a first-person, you know? So anything like that will not really do as much for the you know, solo game, AAA individual title genre, because we're seeing them in these team spin-off games, or not spin-off, but just team-centric games. So I don't, you know, again, I don't think we're getting a Hulk game. No matter how much I want Ultimate Destruction 2, I don't think we're getting a solo single-player Hulk game. I don't think we're getting a solo action-adventure open-world Captain America game, Thor game, Hawkeye game, Miss Marvel game. You know, it's just these team games. So that's why we're seeing Guardians. That's not why we're seeing Star-Lord. That's not why we're seeing Rocket, because it's the Guardians. It's the Defenders. It's the Avengers. It's the Fantastic Four. It's the X-Men. You know, you wouldn't see a solo Wolverine game, because usually 10 times out of 10 he would be in a team-up X-Men game. And whether or not that's for the best is up for you to decide, but that's kind of the situation we find ourselves in right now with this multi-year, multi-game partnership that Square Enix has made with Marvel. But yeah, Vinyl Conspiracy, Fantastic Four and Vince show up in Spider-Man 2 as a character? Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, Fantastic Four open world game would be dope. Yes, it would. Or even a level-based game. Again, not everything has to be open world, just like Avengers. Avengers did not have to be open world. Like, what it is now is fine, but you see instantly that the main reason why it flopped is because of the, the live service elements. If it was just that, and it was, you have a whole package at launch, and then they can release the characters, you know, later on down the line as individual DLC, at least the base game is still fun to play. It's a good experience. That's what Spider-Man PS4 was. Spider-Man PS4 didn't feel empty without the City That Never Sleeps DLC, right? You know, like that just added on to what made the game great. It added Black Cat, it added Hammerhead, added a whole nother bosses with regular Hammerhead in a mech suit, Mecha Hammerhead, which is like the Frankenstein Hammerhead and the final boss in the Silver Lining DLC, and Silver Sable, and then a Black Cat chase, which was awesome. I still wish we could have played as her, but that enhanced, that added on to what already made the base game so good with its main story. It didn't feel like, oh, I just wasted $30 for part of the game that should have already been in here. No, it felt like it was a great addition to what already made the game so fantastic in the first place. So that's what Avengers should have done with its additional characters and roadmap with Hawkeye and Kate Bishop and Black Panther and Spider-Man and all these other characters. But they didn't, because now we're just still grinding and fighting robots the same way we've been doing since launch. So there's no individuality, there's no differentiation, there's no variety, there's no fun in it. It's just more of the same. That's why, again, Genshin Impact does live service right. That does a looter shooter right, or looter brawler in that case right. You get rewarding items. You feel like you're making progress each time you log into the game to do daily missions. You have an open world to explore. You have fun characters to interact with. You have engaging stories to discover and learn more about these characters and their backgrounds. You don't get that with Avengers. I could care less about Kate Bishop and Clint Barton because they're in this cliche endgame discounted story of, oh my god, we gotta time travel because 5 years in the future, whenever, the Kree invade, and we gotta fight the Kree because they're gonna blow up everything. It's like, okay, instead of teasing stuff that everyone wants to see, just give me that. And even then, like, none of the Kate Bishop stuff hinted towards anything relating to Black Panther or Spider-Man. Oh, the Hawkeye DLC with Clint Barton was just a tease because that's really going to showcase what's really in store for Kate Bishop and her story and all that, what's going on there. It's a two-parter, so it's enhancing the story of Kate Bishop's inclusion. And really, it just didn't matter because it didn't connect to the other characters. Whereas, like, each character and the wider story that's being told in Genshin has something important. Like, Eula has stuff with the Lawrence clan. I'm just using examples. If any of you guys play Genshin, you know what I'm talking about. Yanfei explores the Leeway lore of that city, or that region in Teyvat. Rosaria adds more depth to the Knights of Favonius, and so does Jean, and so does all these other characters, and all these different inclusions and relationships they have is great. But I don't care about Kate Bishop and Hawkeye because there's nothing to relate to them with. It's just, oh, I'm cracking jokes, Clint. Oh, robots, right? Isn't that funny? We're still fighting robots? Haha, no! It's not funny. Kate or any of the writers who made that joke in the script? No. Sorry. It's not. You're not clever. It's annoying, if anything else, because it acknowledges of how lackluster of content there is in the game. Whereas if there was something new, then maybe it would be fun. But I don't think the story involving with Clint Barton and Kate Bishop is doing enough to make me care about the future of Marvel's Avengers, and I doubt Black Panther will either. Now again, am I going to play as Black Panther? Yes, of course. But I'm not going to be hyped for when he comes out and just like, well, it's about time. And I've been waiting really to play the game fully for months now, since the Tachyon Anomaly event, could care less. That was terrible. Same with Red Room Takeover. I don't think the Cosmic Cube is going to be any different. Wasteland Patrol just seems like something to, justify the grinding, which again is not really that good in and of itself regardless. And I don't know. I think that's going to be a concerning factor to see whether or not the game will turn out in a proper way by the time they release Black Panther and Spider-Man. I don't know. We will see. And same thing with Guardians. You think people are going to be let off easy with Guardians if it looks just as confusing and mismarketed as Avengers did? Because again, the entire time, and I put this out on Twitter, and I think fellow Twitter user Alan Serta quote tweeted me, and I agree with him, is that just make the marketing good, because we don't want to see the same thing over and over again. The whole meme that surrounded Avengers was Marvel's A-Day. So we saw A-Day was literally the only thing that they showed over and over and over again for Avengers, because that was the only thing that represented what the game should have been. A linear, action-adventure, story-based, AAA game, single-player oriented in that format, And A-Day, literally the reason why they showed it amongst anything else was because that was literally the only level in the game that truly embodied what an actual Avengers game should have been like. An action-adventure, single-player, linear-driven, story-focused game in that genre. And it was very disappointing to see that the rest of the game was just more centered on the live service stuff and the grinding elements and the multiplayer instead of driving the narrative forward with Kamala and her story. They did at some points, but not enough. Not enough at all to make it worthwhile. God, am I going to die? Please, no. I'm so close. If I die again, I'm going to cry. Please, no! This guy's punching me from the back, dude. What am I supposed to do? Scott's a bit slow when you start off the game at an early level, and I'm also playing on rough and tough, so... Oh, yeah! Thank God. Whew! Oh, Lucas Lee, you son of a gun. And he dies. Great. Excellent. Good job, buddy. I also hate this. I've always hated this part of the game. I got a skateboard. Great. But I never use it. That sucks. Like, you never use the skateboard in the game. That's a pain. But yeah, Frozen, Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad isn't in the same universe. Yes, correct. It's not. They're separate. Which is weird because Gotham Knights with the trailer pretty much just reiterated and started off the same way Arkham Knight ended, where Batman died, quote-unquote died, in the explosion of Wayne Manor. So, I don't know. Andrew, Spidey, guys, that looks like a great game you're playing. I mean, yes, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Great 2D action combat brawler. Fantastic. Way more fun to play with friends. Confirmed. But right now I'm just kind of doing the stream to give you my perspective. And honestly, I think I'll end it here. We've been streaming for over an hour. I don't want to go on and make this for too long, and I'll probably die again on this level. So it'll give me time to level up individually. I know we could have done like a party chat with Ghosty and Franco, but I kind of want to give you guys my insight on where we're at with E3. We're expecting Marvel's Avengers to show Black Panther, maybe Spider-Man. We're also expecting a full-on Guardians of the Galaxy AAA game reveal from Eidos Montreal. Maybe Marvel XCOM, that's a leak, not a rumor. I don't know if they'll show it during E3, but at the very least, that game is confirmed to be happening. Spider-Man 2, though, get that out of your heads right now. If anything, the reason why Spidey is in the title of the Livestream is because I think we might see an update for him in Avengers, but I don't think, no way, I don't think we'll see Spider-Man 2 revealed during PlayStation Summer Games Fest presentation or a separate State of Play game showcase afterwards. But yes, don't worry, I didn't want to do one anyway. Oh, for the party? Yeah, sorry, Franco. We'll do one soon, though. We'll do one maybe before E3, or we'll try and live react maybe together for E3 when they show stuff for Square Enix and PlayStation during Summer Games Fest. Yes, Ghosty. Also, we have a Spidey Squad stream for June 15th. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Oh, boy. So 10 days from now, we're going to see exactly who's sus and who's not. Oh, God. Andrew, you better be ready for that if you're still watching. Oh, my God. Oh, that'll be funny. That's going to be hilarious. And I hope you guys watch. And also, small plug, watch my recent Persona 5 Royal essay video. I had a fun, really fun time making that video, kind of diving deep into my personal affection for the game and its finality story, analyzing it from an ideological perspective in a way that I wasn't able to do before. It has currently less than 1,000 views, so that's a bit upsetting, but I think it's a good video and I had a lot of fun making it. So check it out if you're looking for stuff to watch for my channel. We've already kind of covered the E3 news for Marvel. We're expecting E3 to hopefully start in a fun way soon for Square Enix. Four major games in the current development pipeline, which I put on Twitter, but just to reiterate here. Marvel's Avengers with Black Panther and Spider-Man. Guardians of the Galaxy by Eidos Montreal. XCOM Marvel Games style title. Could be good, could be bad. Or Marvel Spider-Man 2, and I should say, not or, and Marvel Spider-Man 2 by Insomniac Games. Will it be good? I mean, of course it's going to be good. Will it be revealed? I don't think so. But will it be good is obviously going to be determining whether or not Ben Jordan's model will be better enhanced on the sequel. But we will see. Coda Comics, see you, Evan. I have to go early. I hope you have a great day. Thank you, bro. You too. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're busy, that's super kind of you to do so. Yeah, any final questions, guys, before we end the stream? Because I think I will end it here. Hopefully you enjoyed me playing Scott Pilgrim, by the way. Leave a like if you did. Leave a like if you're hyped for E3. Leave a like if you're hyped for any upcoming Marvel Games titles. I'm sure as heck going to cover as much as I can. Something that I'm passionate about and hyped for, which is why you don't see me covering stuff related to
Avengers as much because I just play the recent events, give you my thoughts, and that's it. Whereas, as I said, the roadmap is not cutting it for me. We already knew, literally ages ago, pretty much since launch, that Black Panther was coming in the game. It's no secret. It's an Avengers game. So obviously they're going to include Black Panther. So any of the stuff like, oh, they're going to show up at E3, like, no duh. Of course he is, because what else would they have to show for the game if not Black Panther? Otherwise the game would be dead, even more so than it already is. So we can only hope that the Black Panther content will be good enough to justify its presentation and be a worthwhile inclusion to bring people back into the experience. Let's see, the Deadly Eight. Do you think we will... Shoot, sorry, your comment went a bit too fast. Let me see here really quick. Do you think we will get a spin-off Venom game after Spider-Man 2 or 3 from Insomniac? If not, could he be playable DLC? So, I've kind of made my pitch online already about how I want them to handle Venom. I want the symbiote to be Ultimate Comics-centric Venom in modern day. No Clintar, no Eddie, you know, you're a loser, Eddie, like Venom movie symbiote style. No, no, no. Make it Ultimate Symbiote style Venom. Make it the substance that kind of really has a weird inner, like it's alive in a way, like it is a living creature, but it doesn't like have its own mind. Like it feels like it's part of you in a way. Like Harry, if you talk to Harry, if he gets out of the tank and he's fine, he could be like, it feels like there was someone talking to me that whole time. It wasn't Dad, it was like someone else. Who was that? Oh, it was the symbiote, you know, it was like this weird mental connection that he feels like it's his dad. Peter, you know, in the Ultimate Comics, Peter, when he touches the symbiote and he wears it for the first time in the Ultimate Spider-Man comics, and he's going on this joyride with it pretty much, he's like, wow, it feels like Dad is with me. I can't explain it, but I feel him, which is very weird. So I love that. So I really want that to happen with Harry. Like there's this weird, something in like the back of my mind is talking to me. I don't know what it is, but it wants me or something. It wants to be me, or wants to be with me, or something weird, creepy like that, and really dive deep into the symbiotic chemistry between Harry and the symbiote, and then down the line, once Harry eventually becomes Venom, because even though we do know Eddie Brock exists in this universe, I don't want the Venom in the game to be Eddie Brock. I want it to be Harry, and I hope that he is playable as a surprise character. Maybe Harry himself could be playable in some weird dream sequence or something, and we get to learn more about the symbiote that way. And then we learn all the time he's been doing this weird mind-bending, searching stuff in his own head. He's not in his right mind, he's out of control, and he's really, you're playing as Venom in that time, doing crazy stuff in the city or causing chaos, with Peter and Miles both on the scene. And even with, you know, God, Insomniac are so smart, because they're teasing Harry, because they're teasing Harry. Everyone who thinks, you gotta understand, everyone who is thinking that Eddie is going to be Venom needs to get that out of your mind right now. There is literally 2 teasers for Harry in the post-credit scene for both games with the symbiote on him teasing to be Venom, but also in Miles' game, his own game, during one of the races, there is a point when you do one of those side missions, the holographic Peter training simulations in Central Park, there's a dialogue piece where Peter's telling Miles about how he first met Harry. Literally verbatim about him in school after Uncle Ben died, and Harry was there to comfort Peter during that tragic time, which is super cool to learn more about Harry in that way. And then also Miles follows that up saying, awesome, I really can't wait to meet Harry one day. As if knowing that, of course, we're going to meet Harry as the big, major emotional conflict of fighting this monster that just so happens to be Peter's best friend. I need that. That's going to be sick. I want that to happen, full stop. And it's totally going to be Harry no matter what. I'm very much looking forward to it, and I can't wait to see how it's going to turn out. But yeah, Ghosty, are you reacting to the E3 stuff, and can I join in for like a Discord? If you mean like during E3, I think so. I mean, Franco and I will probably be together streaming stuff, or like watching the stuff together live, and me and the other Spidey Squad boys in Discord will probably talk to it too. We'll try and do a live thing, but again, it's not like a major Spider-Man No Way Home trailer reveal type thing where we're all going to watch it together and stuff like that. Or we're going to watch it separately and then we're going to talk about it together after the fact. Or like, again, if there was a line, like say for example, Dream's thought right now, oh,
Insomniac, confirmed. Marvel Spider-Man 2, reveal tomorrow at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Holy shit, like that, of course. Then we're going to get into a stream together and react live, of course. But for this stuff, like E3 and Square Enix and Black Panther, and, you know, I'll react to it on my own time. I'm not even going to probably, like, upload my reaction, because my reaction when I saw Black Panther the first time, when they showed that initial 30-second teaser trailer, whatever it was, which was like the bare minimum of stuff we should have already seen gameplay of Black Panther at this point, was just literally a blank expression. Because it was like, okay, we knew he was coming. I mean, his suit looks cool, I guess. We knew he was going to be voiced by Christopher Judge because it was leaked. But, you know, nothing about that really hyped me up like what Guardians likely will. Like, Guardians would be like, okay, interesting. Like, that was how I reacted to Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad. Like, you can see my reaction for those games on the channel that's live recorded. It's on the channel, individual videos. I'm just reacting to it by myself after DC fandom occurred, and I gave my own thoughts on the situation. And it wasn't really anything too intense, because I was just like, oh, yeah, well, we waited for so long. Like, interesting. So the game isn't like Arkham. It's a different combat style. It's not made by Rocksteady because this is Warner Bros. Montreal. Like, oh, there's, you know, the damage numbers. There's kind of, they elaborate more upon the open world aspect. There's 2-player co-op, not 4-player, not live service. That's interesting. So I'm kind of like looking at it analytically, and I'm like, yes, oh my god, this is so cool. I can't wait for this. Oh my god. That's not really my reaction for the DC games at this point, especially for Suicide Squad. I was kind of like put off by that trailer. So what I'm saying is that's exactly how I'm going to feel when I see Black Panther. Even though it's Marvel, and I love Marvel games, and I think Bill Roseman's a genius, I'm not going to be all that pumped for it because we already know what to expect. It's literally just another character in the game. Here's Wakanda. Here's some costumes, I guess. And that's it. So we'll see what happens. I don't know, but right now, in terms of reactions, keep a lookout, mainly for Guardians. And if Spider-Man is shown for Avengers, then of course expect that. But we'll see how it turns out. Anyways, guys, that has been the live stream for today on Saturday, June 5th. Hopefully you enjoyed. I hope you're having a very lovely weekend. Again, please like the stream if you did enjoy. I would very much appreciate it. I don't think there were any super chats because there never are on the streams. But if there are, thank you for your donation. I genuinely appreciate it. Stay tuned for E3. More videos coming soon. Watch my previous videos if you want to keep up to date with the Marvel Games news and PlayStation stuff for gaming. I kind of covered a variety of topics in these past few days, so definitely check those out if you haven't managed to see them yet. And definitely more streams coming soon. June 15th again. Very sus live stream in store from the Spidey Squad. We'll try and make it a charity live stream, by the way, because we always like to give back and help out others in need. Especially while playing this game, it's going to be very interesting to kind of read donations alongside of playing Among Us once it comes out on PS4. But we'll see. But until then, get excited for E3. I know I am. I always love the E3 season. I miss being able to go to E3 in person. But for what they're able to kind of do during this time we're in, where people are still at home and the pandemic is still relatively a massive issue nowadays, being able to see some new games be announced during the occasion is at least enjoyable at most. But until then, thank you all so much for watching. Stay spectacular, Spidey fans, and stay merry, Marvelites. Peace out.